my lovely angels, this is your girl Sim back with another episode of the Sim Squad. Hi! Today I'm wearing the Even Star. My younger sister had given it to me ages ago. I'm assuming it was like around 15 years ago or so. She's absolutely obsessed with Lord of the Rings. I'm not that obsessed, but I do like watching the series, and I just found it and I was like, oh my goodness, it's so old and yet it's in such pristine condition. I thought, you know what, let me just wear it now because I've been watching Rings of Power. Yes, I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to not really books, but like series and movies that are created by famous books, especially when it's like fantasy related, you know. So I've been obsessing over Rings of Power. I know, it's very like controversial, you know, not many people like it. Personally, I'm enjoying it, so I'm gonna watch it, you know. So that's why I just thought, like, you know, let me just wear this Even Star, you know. Today I have a haul for you. These were actually sent to me. It's an entire PR again. I had promised you guys that every time I receive PRs, I'll let you know, and I will never ever be biased, yeah? You know that already, I don't have to tell you. So I have been sent 2 perfumes by Fragrance World, 2 by French Avenue, and 1 by Khadlaj, you know. And Khadlaj is one of the perfumes I had shamelessly asked them because I know a lot of you all wanted me to review it, and I also was super intrigued. So I was like, let me just get that and review it. Should I just start with that one because it'll be easier? No, actually, let me start with the Fragrance World because this one, let me go from weak to strong, you know. So the first one is called Nectar of Ecstasy. I absolutely love this packaging because it literally looks like a watercolor painting, yeah? And then when you open it inside, it's like all yellow and it's like a super bright yellow. And then this is your bottle. Now, while I'm not very fond of the bottle, if you know me, if anything looks like this, if anything looks like kind of even sort of like the packaging of Yara, I'm not going to appreciate it. But it does look pretty because it does look like honey, like the hive of the beehive. And the color is like very cute. And the fact that the perfume smells like this color is the best part. Just to show you the watercolors, it's like you have your honeybees, you have your what's that bird? The hummingbird, you know, and they're collecting nectar, you know. This perfume has got 4.14 on Fragrantica. Now, when I sprayed this, instantly it reminded me of something I had smelled around 11 to 12 years ago. And that perfume was a little old. It was not released in 2012 or something, or 2013. It was probably released like at least 3 more years ago. And I vaguely remember that it was by Fendi. And no matter how hard I'm trying to remember the name of that perfume, I just cannot. I even tried to Google it, but there's like a memory blockage. I have no idea why. This perfume is a very simplistic perfume. And it does smell like eau de toilette, not eau de parfum or extrait, what we expect from Middle Eastern perfumes. So that's just a disclaimer. I want to lay it out there before I review this perfume. It's a fruity floral and it's supposed to be a dupe for Hane Mori. Hane Mori, I have not tried that perfume, or have I tried any perfumes from that brand. They're quite like niche and pricey. The top notes for this are acai berry and blueberry. Middle notes are freesia and lily of the valley, and the base notes of sweet notes, amber and cedar. The thing is that none of the notes are realistic, so you don't expect it to smell like actual acai or your blueberry or your freesia or lily of the valley. Lily of the valley is a note that can be very overpowering and it can take over the perfume, but it's nothing like that. So I would take these notes like with a grain of salt. Like, what's funny is that the perfume bottle, the box, you know, it's watercolors, and that's how this perfume smells like. It reminded me of my childhood. You know, when we used to have like birthdays and stuff in school, the girls would distribute sweets, the hard candy, you know. I don't know what you call it in your country, but we call it sweets, you know, and or candy, yeah. But these were the hard candies. So you have it and then it stays in your mouth for like ever till it dissolves, you know. I remember I used to save one for my mom because, you know, I used to, I mean, I not used to, I still love my mom a lot. So I wanted to take one for her and the other one for myself. I didn't like to chew it because or keep it in my mouth because it used to cut my mouth. So what I used to do is I used to put it in my water bottle. And then that bottle used to get colored, the water, and it would develop a taste, right? And it would become flavored water. And I would intentionally pick up the berry looking ones, the dark ones. This perfume reminds me of that, of that water, yeah, along with some little bit of florals as well. But what I'm trying to express to you is like it smells watered down, and watered down not in a way that it's dilute or something and not well performing. It just smells like something which is like a bit watery and not very highly concentrated. There's one thing about this perfume, if you buy it, like the initial spray when I had done, as usual with all the perfumes with Middle Eastern or any other perfumes, don't rely on the first couple of sprays to judge a perfume, right? You need to let it spray it out, let it sit for a bit, and then try it in a day or two. And then you get the actual. So this weekend I tried it again, and it was so different from the first time I tried it. However, the DNA is the same, how I tried it in the beginning. It just became a little bit more concentrated. Initially, it was even more watery. Think of literally if you would mix like a candy, like a hard candy or sweets in the water, but then you would add some hints of florals and woods, you know, like light color woods in the background. And the woods are very poshy woods, and they smell like probably from an expensive niche brand, you know. I know the review for this will be very divided. Some people are going to love this perfume, some people are not going to like it at all. Because when it comes to Middle Eastern brands, people expect the perfumes to be very potent, very like heavy hitters, you know. The thing with this perfume is like if you spray it on a blotter, it'll adopt the smell of the paper. If you spray it on your clothes, it'll adopt the material, whichever you're wearing. But this perfume, I feel you should spray it on your skin because that's when it'll actually smell how it is supposed to smell like. So I would suggest do not try this perfume on a blotter, yeah, when you try this perfume, if you get a chance to try it. Otherwise, like try and get a decant because this is definitely not a perfume that you would be very impressed with. It's a very nice perfume and it's something that on daily basis, especially in spring and summer, you will gravitate towards because you will want to smell light, airy, watered down, you know, but also with that strong freshness. Although water note is not there, I don't know what that note is. Guys, honestly, like I'm trying my best to try next because this is even new to me. Like I have not smelled perfumes like this, so I don't know what's going on with this perfume, but it's quite pretty. And today I'll be wearing this perfume to office because we still are in summer, it's very hot, and I think this is going to do very, very well in heat. It is not a perfume that I would normally gravitate towards, but because of that nostalgia, and you guys know me, like if something gets like nostalgic, I start getting attracted to it. It does remind me of innocence and childhood and like a fairy tale almost, like, you know, like something which is imaginary and everything. So I do think that their packaging was very, very apt. This will cost you around $35 and my rating for this, I'm very conflicted, guys. I really want to give it 8, but I know that not many people will find it an 8. They'll think of it as a 7.5. Let's keep it a 7.5 for now. Let me see how it macerates and changes, yeah? Because I know your perception when I say 8, you expect it to be like a very, very super impressive perfume. This is like a mist. Like it's not even like a eau de toilette, yeah? It's like a mist. It's very, very feminine. It has no Middle Eastern vibe about it. Let's say the projection is like 1 to 2 feet. It doesn't project too much. And the longevity as well, it's like 6 hours. It's like 6 hours max. And I tried so hard to find the celebrity for it because I was like, who, you know? And, you know, every time I think of like fantasy or fairy tale or something, Elle Fanning comes to mind. And I did not want to give this perfume to Elle Fanning again because I do associate Elle Fanning with slightly apple kind of perfumes because of the Snow White or something. I don't know. But I just could not associate this perfume. No celebrities coming to mind. So I'm sorry, I just cannot allocate a celebrity for this perfume. You know what, I thought I'll go in queue, but you know what, let me do it brand by brand. The thing is, the next one is like the most potent perfume I have ever experienced. It is called Varakh Gold. That's the box. It's very, very beautiful. This thingy is embossed, you know, and the bottle is matching the packaging. So this is the box and this is the bottle. It's like exactly the same. The bottle looks so expensive. Looks like a poshy, you know, look at that. Look at the details. So that's the front portion where you have your title, and the bottle is stunning and it's so heavy. And this is what I always say, like Fragrance World, French Avenue, their bottles, Afnan as well, their bottles are really, really good quality. It's heavy, like so heavy. And it definitely looks like you would expect this to be like one of the niche perfumes or something, right? So this is supposed to be a dupe for 1 million golden oud. I'm trying to spray it as far away from me because this will affect the rest of the perfumes as well, you know. This got 5 out of 5 on Fragrantica, but they had only 2 votes when I checked it last. So I don't know how it is right now, but definitely I know this perfume will be highly rated because it's just a very, very potent perfume. Now I haven't smelled 1 million golden oud because Ali is not an oud person unless it's a festive season, our festive season, or like a event or something, or like a gathering. That's when he'll wear his oud perfumes, you know. So he will not go ahead and go and buy a perfume that smells like oud. This, however, it's a very, very masculine, woody oud with very mild hints of leather, earthiness. I would not call this a feminine oud. No, it does not smell like Badi al Oud for Glory, if you're thinking that, or Shagaf Oud's Oud Royal, or Lancome's Oud Bouquet. Was it Oud Bouquet? Yeah. It's not smelling like that, yeah? This smells like a very, very masculine, very, like the feeling I got the moment I smelled this perfume was, the person it reminded me of was like Richard from Friends, you know, like somebody who's like smoking cigars or something, you know? Like it's a very masculine oud. This retails for $40. Let me tell you the notes. The top notes are black pepper, bergamot, saffron and nutmeg. The black pepper is like almost like that bitterness, and the bitterness is quite strong. So initially when you spray this, the dominant note from the entire top notes is the black pepper. Yeah, that's rare, right? Yeah, but you can smell very obviously that black pepper bitterness. The bergamot, saffron and nutmeg are there, but in a very, very mild fashion. Saffron and bergamot are coming in like a coldness as opposed to like a citrus burst or something, and with along with the saffron as something sweet. No, it's coming in as like a cold freshness. Then in the middle notes you have gurjan balsam, labdanum, iris and cedarwood. And in the base you have agarwood, leather, oud, okay, agarwood and oud, okay, I don't know, patchouli and sandalwood. So it's a whole lot of woods with little bit of flowers here and there. And then you have your opening of like spices and like little bit of saffron. So it's not like a rocket science kind of perfume or something, but it does smell very, very, very attractive. Like if a guy would wear this perfume, I would look towards this person, right? Because it does smell very, very seductive. I think that's the right word, or not even seductive. It's an attention grabbing. It's like it smells good first of all, and then you will definitely want to see who is this person wearing this perfume. Strangely, it has like this note in the background. People call it the gasoline note of, I don't know, it smells like a car garage, but in a nice way. You know, when you enter a car garage, it smells of metals and oil and things like that. There's a hint of that. I'm not saying it smells like a car garage, so please don't get me wrong. But again, it's like that masculinity, but it does smell, it does have like a little bit of that car garage smell. I have no idea what that is. I do love this perfume a lot. I am going to keep it. I'm going to see if Ali will want to wear this. I wouldn't mind using this for myself in layering, because when it dries down, it becomes the best form of woody oud that I wish would be there in the oud sticks that I burn at home, you know. And if I could make my house smell like this, it would be amazing. But I'm obviously not going to waste this perfume spraying it at home. I don't know, maybe I will. But you know what? I'll use this for layering as well. This will cost you US $40. It's definitely masculine. Can women wear this still? Yes, you can, but it doesn't have those aquatic or Jimbro kind of masculine notes. It's a Middle Eastern masculine, so it is definitely very, very heavy on oud. So if women are okay with using those kind of perfumes, you can go for it. I would use it, but not by itself. I will mix it with like a rose perfume, or maybe with more citruses to make it fresh. I mean, the layering combos with this is like unlimited. You can think of like a lot of, anything that you want like a woody oud hint to, you will add this perfume. I would recommend wearing this in fall, winter. The Middle Eastern vibe is like really high in this, like very, very high. The projection is 5 feet at least, and the longevity is 8+ hours. 8 plus, right? So I'm not going to say more than that because I don't want to make like high claims like that. This is an 8 out of 10 perfume for me. I would give it a higher rating if it was like more variable to me. Actually, you know what? I'm going to give it an 8.5. Let me give this an 8.5 just because I do feel like I will use this a lot for layering during winter. And the celebrity, of course, the only person I could think was Richard from, what's his name? Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck. But from Friends, how he was, he's like poshy, right? Definitely smells like a rich Middle Eastern man. Now next we have a perfume that I've become obsessed with. From the beginning till the end, from that experience of unboxing it. Let me not like talk too much. It's Miraj, okay? Miraj. It's not Mirage, it's Miraj. Miraj literally means elevate or ascend, This is the box and this is how the box opens. It's it's so fancy. Like it's like an accordion, like la 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 la. I'm trying not to drop the bottle, guys. But the bottle is also like very securely kept inside. It's a very hard box and this perfume is for $50. And this is the gorgeous, I was going to say freaking gorgeous bottle with this engraving. And look at this, like jewels. How beautiful is it? And this is supposed to be duping Bewitching Jasmine. Bewitching Yasmin. Oh my god, I've become so westernized. Bewitching Yasmin. Yasmin is like the Arabian counterpart to the name Jasmine. It means the same thing. It means like flower jasmine, right? So the Bewitching Jasmine was a very popular fragrance by Penhaligon's. And I had smelled it like a million years ago. I mean, I'm telling you, like it was launched like ages ago. And I remember smelling it and I really liked it, but couldn't afford it. The price point is like, and at that time especially, it was like next level. I don't know what to say. Like, it's literally the name Bewitching Yasmin. I mean, I know this perfume is called Miraj, so let me just stick to Miraj. But literally the fact that like the other perfume is called Bewitching. It is a bewitching perfume. Like it literally puts you in a trance. And the first thing when I smelled this perfume, the first thing I thought was, this is how a mage would smell like. If you don't know what a mage is, please Google it, right? While it is a jasmine perfume, it's also very heavy on cardamom and your coffee. So it smells a little bit like kahwa, okay? Kahwa is Arabic coffee, okay? It's the preparation more than the ingredients of the coffee, right? So the coffee is the Arabic coffee, but you add like cardamom, cinnamon, ginger, like a little bit of additions, and then you make this kahwa coffee that you have it as like a shot because it's really, really strong. It smells like the kahwa coffee. The strong note is cardamom, not the coffee. The coffee is there in a mild fashion, so don't get scared. This is not a coffee perfume at all. It's not smelling like coffee. Yeah, it's just giving you like hints of coffee in the background. Along with that, cardamom. So the top notes are cardamom and coffee. Middle notes are jasmine, sambac. And the base notes are vanilla, incense and oud. The jasmine sambac, of course, it's indolic. Jasmine, when you say here jasmine sambac, know that it is your indolic jasmine. It's literally putting me in a trance. It's like a potion. It's like a spell. It just makes me feel like strange things. It's very amazing. I mean, I can't even like. If at the moment I smell this, I didn't have any expectations from it. I saw the bottle and for some odd reason I was like, dude, will this smell anything like your Mayar, because I was like, the bottle does kind of slightly look like the Mayar bottle. I was like, please let it not be one of those, and it's completely opposite. It's dark, mysterious, sexy. It smells like nighttime. It smells dark. Disclaimer, not everybody is gonna like this perfume. It is not a blind buy for sure. Actually, you know what? I feel everybody will like it, but I don't know. I don't want to take the risk of saying go ahead and just buy it because you need to try it. It's a very potent fragrance. It's a very unique, niche smelling perfume. And just think about it. Like I smelled Bewitching Yasmin ages ago, but why do I remember how it smells like? It's because it left an impression on me even back then, and this smells so close to it. If not the same, it's at least like very, very close. I love it. I love this perfume. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. Like I don't have to think too much about it. The opening is, yes, you have your coffee, the cardamom coffee, and then you have your strong notes of jasmine. But the jasmine, while it is indolic, it's not overtaking the perfume and becoming like a jasmine bomb. And in the base notes, then you have very sweet notes, the vanilla. The oud is also quite sweet. And then, of course, that incensiness. And I'm not saying this incensiness is like the church or the mosque or something. It doesn't smell like that traditional incensiness. It's a sweet smokiness, what I would call it. The base notes almost remind me of Majd al-Sultan as well. Like, it's going in that direction. The perfume is going in that direction. If Majd al-Sultan had a female version, it would be Miraj. I'm so much in love with this perfume that I am lost for words. I also smell some balsams in this. It's not listed, but balsams like frankincense or myrrh or something like that. It's adding like a little bit of this balsamic quality. But it's possible when they say incense, it's because incense can be so many things. Like when we say incense over here, you need to be very specific. Like what incense? It could be the incense sticks. It could be incense that is like a mixture. I will try to get that for you next time. That's something very interesting to share. So that's like used to like clear out the air or purification and stuff. It's like a mixture of resins and the different herbs, and then you burn it. Not necessarily smells nice. I like the smell of it, but not everybody thinks it smells good. It's like smudging. So it's like the Arabian version of smudging. I'll get that for you next time. But beautiful. This is like amazing. The cardamom note will stay prominent from the beginning till the end. But the cardamom doesn't smell gourmand. It smells like the cold parts, the scent and the cold parts of the cardamom staying from the beginning till the end. And the jasmine is like the most beautiful jasmine I've ever smelled in my life. Along with those sweet notes in the end with vanilla and your intriguing balsams, although it's not listed. And then you have your oud and you have your incense. Oh my God. If I could give it 11 out of 10, I would, but I'll give it a 10 out of 10 for now. This is unisex but leans quite a bit feminine as a unisex perfume. But if a guy wears it, he can pull it off. Middle Eastern vibe is very, very high in this one as well. The longevity, I would say, is like 8 hours. Projection, 4 feet at least. And because this perfume reminded me of a mage, I wanted to give this to Astrid Burgess Frisbee. Sorry, I could not memorize her name, but Astrid, okay. In that movie where she's the mage, the King Arthur movie, the Guy Ritchie one, This is, I think, my favorite from this lot. Next is another perfume that I'm obsessed with, and this is by French Avenue, and it is supposed to be a dupe for Altair, right, by Perfume de Marly. Guys, Perfume de Marly, I'll just call them PDM because it's just easy for me to edit when I'm editing the subtitles, right? So this is called Liquid Brun. Now again, the packaging of the French Avenue perfumes, look at this. It's like a wood. I don't know if it's wood or not, but it definitely feels like wood. And then it opens like a... It's very secure, okay? So it opens like a book. And that is your beautiful bottle. Would you look at that? See? Can you hear it? That's how it is, It's like a thick, heavy bottle. You have like this little stud. Then you have that stud on the top as well. Very, very pretty bottle. And even the box has that stud, It's so, so beautiful. I'm loving the packaging, for these. I know you'll say, like, you're gonna ultimately throw the packaging, right? But it's just that, I don't know, it's just that experience of unboxing it from a... automatically your perception of the perfume elevates, Now this guy, oh my goodness. Also, again, lost for words, 10 out of 10. Let's start with that, 10 out of 10. I mean, Altair, it's one of the most popular perfumes of PDM of late, yeah. This is very close to it. It's not the same, but it's very, very, very close. On Fragrantica, this has got 4.7, and this, I would categorize it as Oriental, not Middle Eastern, right? I mean, I don't know what's happening with the haul today, but all these perfumes smell like magic. Intriguing, very like sultry, sexy, like in a strange way. This is unisex, but leans masculine, by the way. And the retail price for this is US $40. The top notes are cinnamon, cardamom, orange blossom, and bergamot. Middle notes are bourbon, vanilla, and elemi. And the base notes of praline, musk, ambroxan, and gaiac wood. So yeah, it does have that same like cinnamon, cardamom spiciness. You have your fresh floral, which is orange blossom, which is one of the freshest florals, and then you have your bergamot along with it to create this beautiful freshness in the opening. So it gives you this cold, fresh burst in the opening, followed very quickly by your resins, very, very strong resins and woods, yeah? So in the middle, you have bourbon vanilla and LME, but I feel the bourbon vanilla comes a little later. It is the LME, which is like, it smells cold. You know, LME is a note, or that resin. I always feel that I'm sure it came from the space. It landed with some meteor. It's not from this world. It smells too strange to not miss LME from a perfume. If you want to know which other perfume has LME in it, that's the Opulence of Dubai by Swiss Arabian. You know what I'm talking about, that smell, you know? So it has LME and it's very, very prominent. LME in this is probably the strongest note, yeah? And then in the base, you have praline, musk, ambroxan, and gaiac. So yeah, the praline is adding this thick sweetness, yeah? But like a little powdery sweetness. And then you have your musk, which is also giving it a little bit of sweetness and powderiness. You have your ambroxan and gaiac, which is again sweet, yeah? I don't know how to explain it because it's so different. Like, you know, you can't compare it with stuff unless you smell Altair, which is very random because it's a very, very expensive niche perfume. So it's not like it was available everywhere in Sephora and then you can just go and smell it. So yeah, it is definitely something you need to try first because it's a polarizing scent. It's very, very Middle Eastern. It leans very masculine, but I will wear it because it's, for me, this is a unisex and I will definitely wear this on myself in winter, in the evenings, going out, even in the office for that matter. I know people are going to kill me or hate me for it, but I don't care. It smells awesome, beautiful. Again, you will smell like a person who's better than everybody else. You're like, you peasants, you know, like, I am smelling so good, stay away from me. Don't even sniff the air around me. It's one of those perfumes. Very intimidating, very expensive smelling. If Miraj was a mage, this is a sorcerer. You know, it's like, again, like magic. It smells like magic. Also, a person spraying this perfume on themselves will automatically turn into alpha. If you're a man, you'll smell like the alpha man. If you are a woman, you'll smell alpha woman. It's a very intimidating perfume for sure. Also, I want to say something with this perfume. You need to stay with it. Stay with it for 15 minutes. Because initially it smells very masculine. And then as it dries down, it becomes a balsamic, spicy, sweet, woody perfume. Calms down a lot. And then it just becomes a very, very linear perfume where you'll smell literally these 4 things. And it'll stay like that for the rest of the day. When I smell this perfume, I was thinking if I was not ovulating, I'm ovulating for now for sure. You know, it's one of those perfumes. It's so good. You know, sometimes I write very funny things in my notes. Listen to this shit. Listen to this. The base is what I imagine chloroform would smell like. And I know why I wrote this, okay? Like sweet surrender. I've never smelled chloroform, nor have I used it on people. But I think it would smell like this. I make myself laugh and that's enough, you know. If it was like a weird joke for you guys, but think about what I've written over here, you know. But you know, it does. Like now that I think back, I'm like, that's how I felt when I first smelled this perfume. I was like, this is how sweet surrender with chloroform would smell like, you know. This is your fall winter scent, 8+ hours longevity. Your projection would be like 4 to 5 feet. High Middle Eastern. I would not want to say Middle Eastern. It does smell Middle Eastern, but more Oriental, the traditional Oriental. And the celebrity I've given to this perfume is Alcide from True Blood, which was your Joe Magnamello. I'm sorry, I know I'm butchering his last name, but you know who I'm talking about. Smells like alpha werewolf. Let me move on now, okay, to the last one. And this is from Khadlaj, and this is something you guys have been asking me to get. This is the Epoque Artistique. This is from their Maison du Métier collection, and I have already 3. You can see it like over there. You know, I have 3 perfumes there. Oh, where's my hand? There, you know. And I really wanted this, and Bushra from Khadlaj, she kept telling me, okay, first of all, let me show you the packaging experience. This, again, it's like a hard thingy, and then you have this beautiful bottle nesting in there. Bushra knows my taste very well by now, right? So she told me that, Simin, this is going to be too masculine for you. Don't get it, don't get it. But then finally she caved because she was like, you know what, this girl has been asking me for this perfume for such a long time, let me just give it to her. So Epoque Artistique. I don't know why. For some odd reason, the first time I smelled it, like last year, I thought it smelled like mango. I'm sure it was some other perfume and I got mixed up and I thought it smelled like mango, which is why I thought this is going to be a unisex perfume. And then I smelled it again and it doesn't smell like mangoes, it smells like pineapples. So the notes for this are cardamom, lavender and pepper. Middle notes of pear, orange blossom and jasmine, and then the base notes of amberwood, sandalwood and Peruvian balsam. So it doesn't have pineapple. So I don't know what's happening with my brain, guys, but I could have sworn that pineapple was in here. Like either pineapple, definitely not mango, but the only fruit that's mentioned over here are pear and orange. And maybe the combination of the two smells like that. I can definitely smell like a very strong orange in this. Pear, I can barely smell it, you know. What I can smell very strongly is lavender, your cardamom pepper for sure in the opening, which is automatically making this like a very masculine fragrance because your cardamom pepper and your lavender, what do you expect? And in the middle you have pear, orange blossom and jasmine, but they're there as a fresh sweetness and not really, jasmine is non-indolic. The jasmine is strongly there though, yeah, I can smell it along with that lavender mixing together and making it smell like a cold floral. And in the base you have amberwood, sandalwood and Peruvian balsam. So it's definitely a very, very masculine fragrance. And you would probably want to ask me like, can a girl get away with it? The answer is no. And why is because it smells like that. I say gym bro for all my new followers. When I say gym bro, it's not literally, I mean, it's a perfume that a guy wears in the gym. Gym bro, when I say, it's like a guy who's very fit and who takes care of himself and everything. But they, for some odd reason, wear this very masculine, slightly aquatic and aromatic fragrances. And that's how it smells like to me. This perfume also smells slightly aquatic, very aromatic, thanks to the lavender. It's also quite spicy and woody, and all the notes together, it's just making it smell like a masculine fragrance. And this is also supposed to be a dupe for some perfume. I'm not sure. I know it's one of the Invictus flankers, but like I'm not quite sure. So, but you know, let me know if you know which one it smells like. It does smell like one of the Invictus. And if you know the Invictus DNA, it's very, very masculine, right? You can't get away with like a woman spraying that perfume. But if you like wearing those kind of perfumes, please go for it. Like perfumes are very private, right? It's very personal. It's something you should wear because you feel good about it, right? I wear very strong, woody, masculine fragrance sometimes, you know, because I like it, you know, but not everybody will find that attractive or give the tick of approval, you know. I'm sure there's a better word of saying that, but you know, they don't approve of that perfume, and I will still wear it because you know what, I don't care, I like it, you know, it makes me happy. So if it makes you happy, it is a very mild fragrance. It's not like very strong like Eros or something like, you know, it's not one of those, but it does have like a very prominent masculine fragrance base, you know. It's a very beautiful fragrance. Yesterday Ali sprayed it on himself for the first time and he immediately picked it up and he's like, oh, is this for me? And he was excited, yeah, and he rarely does that. So when he tried it and he just picked it up and he was like, is this perfume for me? And I was like, yeah, it is for you because it's a masculine fragrance. So it was Ali approved, you know. If you know Ali, if you don't know Ali, Ali does not like Middle Eastern smelling masculine fragrances. He likes fresh, aquatic, things that will make him feel light and cold because he is a very outdoorsy person and a very active person. So he doesn't like feeling weighed down. So he always goes for perfumes that are very, very fresh, citrus, fougere, or you know, anything that's like light woods, not dark woods, you know. So he likes wearing very fresh perfumes. He absolutely dislikes wearing fruity fragrances just like me. Also, oud and everything, he stays clear of it. He does, however, like sweet fragrances as well, like the one I did last time from Khadlaj. What was it? Intoxicate Blue Elixir. A lot of people ask me in the comment, I'm going to reply to all the comments soon, guys, whether a woman can get away with it. You can't, in my opinion. I would not wear that, right? So Ali liked that as well. So that's his taste. He really liked this perfume. For some odd reason, Khadlaj perfumes are not listed on Fragrantica. If you're listening to this, I mean, why would you? But if you are, what the heck? You know, like all the Middle Eastern perfumes are there. How come Khadlaj is not there? Like, why are you not listing all the perfumes over there? You know, I wish like some other company starts and just does like Middle Eastern ones, you know. I mean, you do have Perfumo, but still. I really do like this. I would love a guy wearing this very casually, like to the office, or casually like, actually, you know what, this perfume is one of those that if you wear to the office, it becomes an office fragrance. If you go out with friends, it becomes like a fun fragrance, you know. If you go clubbing, it'll become like a, again, like a clubby, fun vibe. So you know what, this perfume is a bit like a, what do you call it? Like Mystique from X-Men adaptive, you know. I really like it. I love it, and I'm gonna give this a, I really, really like this fragrance, although it is not a, like, you know, groundbreaking, revolutionary perfume. I would give it like a 9 out of 10. I love it, but the only reason why is because I have smelled many perfumes that smell like this, so 9 out of 10. Oh wow, this perfume haul was amazing. I am going to wear the Nectar of Ecstasy, although I'm getting very tempted to wear Miraj, but no, not in this heat right now. I'll wear this today to work because I do feel like feeling fresh and light and everything. I mean, it's a Monday. I don't know when you will see this video, but I'm filming it on a Monday. So Monday blues, I want to try and cure it. So I'm going to spray this perfume on myself and try and feel light and airy and calm about my life, about my misery of working 9 to 6. That's it for today, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.